In a quiet little town, nestled between rolling hills and a sparkling river, lived a young boy named Leo. Leo was a kind and thoughtful child, but also incredibly shy. He often noticed when someone needed a hand, but his bashfulness would hold him back, leaving him wishing he'd been brave enough to help. What Leo didn't know was that he had a secret friend who was never shy at all. His own shadow. One sunny afternoon, Leo was walking home from school, kicking a small pebble along the pavement. He saw old Mrs. Gable from next door struggling with her grocery bags. One of the bags slipped from her grasp, and a bright red apple rolled off the sidewalk and into the street. Leo's heart wanted to rush out and grab it for her, but his feet felt glued to the spot. As a car approached in the distance, he squeezed his eyes shut, worried for the apple. When he opened them, the apple was resting safely back on the pavement, right by Mrs. Gable's feet. She looked around, puzzled, then smiled, picked it up, and went on her way. Leo blinked. He was sure he hadn't moved. He looked down and saw his shadow, which seemed to stretch and then quickly shrink back to its normal shape, almost as if it had just reached out and nudged the apple back. Leo shook his head. It must have been the wind. The next day, a little girl's kite got tangled in the low branches of a tree in the park. She was standing beneath it, crying softly. Leo watched from a nearby bench, feeling that familiar pang of wanting to help but being too timid to approach her. He wished the wind would just blow a little harder and free the kite. As he thought this, he noticed his shadow again. It seemed to darken and lengthen, stretching up the trunk of the tree. It slithered up to the branches, and with a gentle wiggle, the kite's string came loose. The kite floated down gracefully, landing right in the little girl's outstretched hands. She giggled with delight, wiped her tears, and ran off to fly her kite again. This time, Leo was certain. It wasn't the wind. His shadow had moved on its own. He looked down at the dark shape at his feet, a mix of awe and confusion on his face. From that day on, Leo started paying closer attention. He began to see his shadow's secret acts of kindness everywhere. When a gust of wind threatened to blow away Mr. Henderson's important papers as he was getting into his car, Leo's shadow stretched out and pressed them flat against the ground until Mr. Henderson could gather them. When a baby bird fell from its nest, the shadow gently nudged it into a soft patch of grass, out of harm's way. Leo realized his shadow was doing all the things he wished he had the courage to do himself. Instead of being scared, he felt a sense of pride. His shadow was his partner, his friendly helper. He started to think of them as a team. He would spot someone in need, and before he could even feel shy, he'd give a little nod, and his shadow would spring into action. One afternoon, a new family was moving in across the street. A boy about Leo's age, named Sam, was trying to carry a large box of toys. He stumbled, and colorful blocks and action figures spilled all over the driveway. Sam looked overwhelmed and on the verge of tears. Leo's first instinct was to hide, but then he looked at his shadow, which was already wiggling with anticipation. Leo took a deep breath. He thought, my shadow can't do this alone. It's daytime. People will see. He knew this was a job for both of them. Walking over, his heart pounding, he said quietly, Hi, I'm Leo. Need some help? Sam looked up surprised, and then a relieved smile spread across his face. Yeah. Together, they gathered all the toys. As they worked, they started talking about their favorite games and cartoons. Leo found that it wasn't as scary as he thought. In fact, it felt good. Really good. He made his first new friend all by himself. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the street, Leo looked down at his own. It was just a normal shadow now, perfectly still and attached to his feet. He smiled. He didn't need his shadow to be brave for him anymore. He had found his own courage, but he knew his friendly shadow would always be there, a quiet reminder of the kindness that was always a part of him, just waiting for the right moment to step into the light. From that day forward, Leo and his shadow continued their work. But now, more often than not, it was Leo who took the first step, with his faithful friend following right behind him. Thank you so much for watching our story today. If you enjoyed the tale of Leo and his friendly shadow, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming stories. We love sharing these adventures with you. See you next time.